Be Monday. Oh, if you're watching on a replay, let me know them in the comments. Hashtag replay. Uh, let's see. Getting things set up for both Facebook and YouTube. Cracking myself up. Okay. Why don't I have something happened? Here I thought I was all like on track. And now it's something has changed. There we go. Okay. What? Melissa's making gestures at me, and for first I thought she was giving making the state of Michigan with her hands. Oh, okay. We'll give everybody a minute or two to hop on and join us. As a reminder, we are on both Facebook and YouTube. So if for some reason you're having problems with one of the two platforms, you can swap over to the other. And get my notes out. As you're coming on, tell me hi, tell me what you're working on, tell me how your weekend went, the drill, the usual things. And I know you guys might not notice it very much, but my camera for my Facebook feed is a tiny bit crooked. I'm just hoping it doesn't fall over because my little tripod that my phone sits on for the Facebook feed is a little bit temperamental. And so I'm hoping it doesn't just decide to fall over because that's what it keeps doing to me. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen tonight. So I tried to tighten it and get it into a space and it's crooked and I didn't want to fix it because I'm afraid it will fall over. So I see it looks like it shows me a few people are watching, but I don't see any comments. So tell me hi at least so I know you're there because I don't know who's on unless you tell me that you're here. It doesn't tell me names, it just tells me numbers of people. So why? Melissa, I see you making movements, but I don't know what that means because did you type things? Because I don't see anything on there either. I don't see any comments. Why don't I see any comments? Let's see. Oh, they show up that way. They just don't show up the other way. Comments, no comments. Comments, no comments. Apparently Facebook has decided it's just going to change what it's doing for me. Ha, there we go. Now I got some. Right. Let's see. Mercina, Melissa, Jackie, sweatshirt, poncho. Ooh, hi, Julie, Sherry, Nicole working on your Grandana cowl hood. Oriana, hello. Oriana, I opened my package. We need to talk about that because, oh my gosh. Thank you so much. It's so cool. Melissa's working on knitting sleeves. We'll talk about that a little bit too. Josie, hi. Brenda, hi. Okay, now we're on track. Now I can see things. Good. Okay, so welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is October 6th, 2025. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace. Hi, Mary. Finishing first sock and ooey gooey. Excellent. Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for most businesses. Some of those vary, just like our hours vary. We are here Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Deb and Ashley are here Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30 for drop-in help with your knitting problems. So $10 for 2 hours. You can pop in on a Monday evening. They meet up in the front lobby. You get some great one-on-one help. It doesn't matter if the project is something that you purchased here at the shop or if it's something that's been languishing for a while or you purchased somewhere else. Maybe you were on a trip and got a project and you're stuck on something. Monday evenings are perfect for that, to come in and get some help. So let's see, the knitting group had their last knitting at the farm for the summer, and that's the farm at Apple Acres, was yesterday. Their last knitting session was yesterday. The farm is closing in a couple weeks, so if you haven't had a chance to get out there or want to get out there one more time to get ice cream, they have like 96 flavors of ice cream. It's crazy. Or to see, they have Highland cows. They have two Highland cows out there. So the farm at Apple Acres is on Salzburg Road in Bay City. It's owned by our friend Melissa and her husband. And they have ducks and bunnies and pigeons and turkeys and geese and chickens and Highland cows. They have two Highland cows. They have Fergus and I can't remember what the girl's name is. Fanny, maybe? But they're still young. But you can still get out there for the next week or so to see them and see the Highland cows and all the fun animals and get some ice cream too. Hi, Shar, getting rain up there. I'm hoping it doesn't start here until we get home. I know today was like the last nice weather day I think we're gonna have until spring. I'm trying not to be too depressed about that because the colors are beautiful and they're going to be more beautiful in the next couple weeks. Joyce started another double knit initial coaster. Awesome. Over the course of the year, I have 10 to make for friends' birthdays. Closing for the season. Yes, not closing, just closing for the season. Joyce just finished a project and dropped it off here to me before I started tonight. So we have that to talk about too. So let's see, events coming up. One day events. This Saturday is Hello Mama. This Saturday is I Love Yarn Day. We love yarn every day. So I did talk about some kits last week. We do have a few of those here still in the shop if you're interested. They're out because we love yarn every day. We're not going to wait to put them out until Saturday, till I Love Yarn Day. So, hi, Jessica. Kits for the, where's my little printed? I don't know where my little printed one is, but the shawl is called Winging It. It's from Madeline Tosh. It's a 2-color knitted shawl. And color combos are these two, the purples and peaches, which they show you a little bit. Try not to show the coupon code because that's for if you buy it. So that's what this color combo is down here. And then the other set is the black and the brights. So sport weight yarn, it's the Madeline Tosh Wool Cycle Sport, which is 100% superwash, recycled, upcycled superwash wool. The kits are $65. You get the 2 skeins of sport weight yarns and a download code for the patterns. So like I said, we've got a couple of those left here, and then Dream in Colors special color they did for I Love Yarn Day is this plum wood. It's beautiful, the purples and golds. So we've got those here in the shop. I believe I've got them listed on the website as well, so you could snag one that way. And yeah, I Love Yarn Day. Malabrigo Day is the last Saturday of the month. That is October 25th. We will be doing yarn tastings here. We'll have some giveaways. I have some new yarn in the shop, I believe, if all goes as planned. Yeah, that's just gonna be kind of an all-day thing. There's not any real structure to it other than we're gonna have samples of all of the Malabrigo bases and knitted samples and maybe a little if I can dig out enough needles, which probably is not a problem for me, then we'll have kind of yarn tastings with each of the bases on needles or hooks. Maybe we'll do a combination of both. We'll see how ambitious I get over the next couple weeks. And then Joyce is going to teach a class on fission knitting. So maybe a month ago, I talked about the technique called fission knitting, which is designed by, I can't remember what her name is, Mary something. And so it's a 2-week class with the option of 1 or 2 more drop-in sessions if you need it. Ugh, I'm sorry, you guys, my eyes are super itchy. Mm, that's my allergies. That's driving me crazy. Okay, so hi, babe. Fission knitting is a technique where you're holding 2 strands of yarn together and it creates a marled look in the background, but then you get to do slip stitches or cables in one or both of the colors. It's not mirrored, so the front and the back can have 2 completely different designs, and it can be in the same color, it can be in different colors. There's a lot of flexibility in what you can do with it. So Joyce is teaching a class on Thursday. Um, they meet October 16th and October 23rd, Thursdays from 2:30 to 4:30. The class, hi, Aunt Jackie. Mary Martin. Okay, thank you, Joyce. Class will be here in the shop. It's, like I said, it's 2 weeks. So the first week you will work on this little swatch. This is the swatch that Joyce and I learned how to do the technique on from the designer herself. And then, so that would be the first week. The second week you get into making a cowl. There are multiple options for, depending on how much or how little you want to apply the technique. But this is the cowl that Joyce just finished and dropped off to me. And is this what is this one, Joyce? Is this the Winding River? I'm sure you'll tell me because I don't remember. But what's really cool about this is, so like I said, it's totally reversible and you're creating 2 different fabrics that are not mirrored. So see the design on this one is kind of these diamonds, big diamonds and little diamonds. And the design on this side, they don't waved. Something waves. Is that what you're saying? Flowing? Flowing river, comet trails, tranquil waters, or confluence. Look at you, just copying my text from the comet trails. There we go. Hi, Donna. Okay, so this is the Comet Trails cowl. So essentially with this technique, you're holding 2 yarns together in the back, but when you get to whatever your main color is, you're either slipping it or knitting it. Sometimes they move like cables. So what's neat about this is it's knitted flat. So like there's the cast on edge or the bind off edge. You knit it flat, and then it's the way that you seam it. There's this little seam along there where that determines when you can just fold it over and wear it as this cute little, yeah, my hair is in the way, my earrings are in the way, but look at how cool that is. So you can see both sides of it. Even if you just wanted to not seam it and leave it as a little flat scarf, it's really cool because it is completely reversible. A lot of knit patterns that have something very graphic on the right side tend to not look that great on the wrong side. So this is 2 fingering weight yarns. One is a solid, just the Heritage solids, and then the other one is a hand dyed. So you get that beautiful smushy cashmere hand dyed look with the one. So we've got that class on the calendar. It's coming up in a couple weeks. Joyce is an amazing instructor. If you have not taken classes from her, you should, whether it's this one or any other class. She's such a great, thoughtful, patient, thorough instructor. So that is coming up. And that's it for events, I think. What am I working on? I am working on, first I've got 3 things I'm working on, but I will give you a little bit of a heads up before I get into the mystery knit along in case you don't want to see the spoiler. We'll talk about my other 2 things first. So my retro sweater, I am on a sleeve. It will have sleeves and it will have 2 sleeves, I promise, when it's done. So this is the 2-color version of the retro. 3-color version of the retro sweater. She's got it written 2 different ways. And this pattern is by Tricoat Meringue. It's a very well-loved pattern. It's been folded over a lot because of the charts. There it is in one color. And it can have, you can kind of see here, I wonder if there's another picture. She has an option for either a split hem or solid hem at the bottom. No, that's the only picture. So you can kind of see down there, there's that little split hem down at the bottom, and it's meant to be oversized. So I finished finally the body of the sweater. So this is 3 colors of Molly Klein Designs, DK weight, custom colors. I don't have any of the labels in here because why would I? But the colors I'm using, I'll show you because I have the fingering weight versions here, are ink, silver lining, and ocean. So these are the fingering weight, but it's these 3 colors in the DK weight that I'm using for the sweater. It is designed with quite a bit of positive ease. I'm doing the smallest size, which is a 40. And I'm still on my first skein of the blue and the gray. I'm on my second skein, the blue and the dark gray. I'm on my second skein of the light gray, but that's what I did the entire bottom ribbing in. I did not do the split hem, but it's got this really cute little slip stitch design down the side, and it's got that under the arm too, which is kind of neat. These loose stitches is just because I haven't woven my ends in from when I joined the new color. But a drop shoulder, it's going pretty quickly. I am, as always, using my Chigu twist shorties, the blue ones. I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller. So right now I have the longer tips and the longest cords, which makes like a 14-inch circumference. I'm about to the point where I need to either drop down to the shorter tips, the 2-inch tips, and or the shorter cord because it's starting to get stretched out a little bit there. But one sleeve well on its way, but I really, really love how it looks. So much texture. It's a lot of fun. I think when it's Highlander, I think when it blocks, it's going to open up a lot. She does tell you to stretch it a little bit when you're measuring it because of all the garter and all of the, I think all of that's going to relax out really nicely. So I did put notes in Ravelry for this because I had to pick up a lot fewer, not a lot fewer stitches, but in order to get the stitch count she calls for, I had to change the ratio quite a bit. The first time I picked it up, I had like 20 extra stitches and I didn't need that many extra stitches for that sleeve. So, but I'm working on it. I started this sleeve yesterday, so I've made a little bit of progress on it and it's going pretty quickly. So that's the one project I'm working on. Let me see if I missed anything. I see Joyce talking about the base fabric is the same on both sides. Yeah, so Jessica had asked about the base or the background being the same on both sides. Yes, because essentially you're holding, the background is always both yarns held together. So you get that marled look on both sides. And it's just a matter of whether you're slipping and knitting with a light color or the dark color or both individually. So my crocheted embellishment projects. Last week I had on the t-shirt, the band shirt that I crocheted sides onto. And I feel like maybe I talked about, I showed this, but I didn't have the sleeve done. So here's my next project. A little sweatshirt that I thrifted and it has these plaid sleeves. It used to have a cuff, but I had to steal the cuff from this one because I couldn't find the other one. But I cut the sleeve off and it's got this crocheted meshy sleeve and then I sewed the cuff back on. So let me see. The shirt I'm wearing is a little bit bulky, but let me see if I can get this on so you can see how cute it looks. if I get really motivated, I may do the same thing to the collar. I think doing a little black crocheted collar on it would be cute. Never mind the purple shirt underneath, because that's not the point, but. So that was kind of the before, and this is the after with, oh, it's so bright on the camera. So sewed a running stitch around here and crocheted into it, and then just kind of stitching the cuff on took a little trial and error, but I got it done and I think it looks really cute. So I'm halfway there. I just have to do the other one. I just think it looks so, it looks so fun. I like this. I like this look a lot. Melissa was in here on, what day were you here? Wednesday? Melissa was in here on Wednesday and decided that she was going to try a knitted version of this concept. And so stinking cute, Brenda. Hi, Patty. So Melissa took a t-shirt, did the same sort of running stitch. We talked about this a little bit last week on here. Same sort of running stitch. We're just in and out all the way around and then in and out all the way around again to cover in all the spaces. But instead of crocheting into those, she knitted into it almost like you would for picking up for a button band or a collar, just knitting and picking up stitches. So she's working on writing up a pattern and a method for that. Hopefully we will have that sometime soon, but she picked our Malabrigo custom decada in the fingering weight and did a little short sleeve on a t-shirt and looks so great. So I'm excited for you all to see that. Hopefully she gets the other sleeve done soon and then she'll have pictures to show. But her goal in popping in here last week, besides to see us because she misses us, is to have it done for Malabrigo Day. You said it before I said it. To have it done for Malabrigo Day and have it here and wear it on Malabrigo Day, which would be really cool. So, all right, those are the two things that I'm working on. The third thing is the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. If you do not want to see the spoiler or see what the first clue looks like, I have finished clue 1. Stephen West does every October a mystery knit along. It is a shawl. We know that much. We don't know. While I'm chatting, I'm also going to put it on purl strings because I have it on a short cord and you can't really see it. So we're chatting, and also I'm going to transfer some stitches on here and hopefully I don't pull them off because that would be kind of a bummer. At least I'm going to put half of it on so I can stretch it out and show everybody. So the first clue came out for this shawl on Thursday, the 2nd, and we will get 1 clue for the shawl every week for 4 weeks throughout the month of October. What do we know about it? We know it's a shawl. We know it takes 1 skein each of 4 colors. And my colors, we've talked about this, are I grabbed too many. So these are my 4 colors. Again, our custom colors from Molly Klein Designs in the fingering weight. So I've got Waterfall, Silver Lining, Ocean, and Ink. And there had been some people that were interested in other options. So swapping out one of the blues for the medium gray tone would be really pretty. So this medium gray is Gargoyle. So that's a really pretty option. As well as this. I think that would be, either one of those would be beautiful. But you'll get to see kind of how the 4 colors play together because the first clue uses all 4 colors. It is a lot of ends to weave in. If it's one that you have signed up for and haven't started yet, I will say his videos are very helpful. This year I tried to knit the first clue without without watching his videos, just because I wanted to see what if somebody did that? What if somebody bought the pattern and didn't watch the videos and just knitted right from his written clue? How difficult would that be? And it's not impossible, but I will definitely say he's really good with giving a lot of tips and tricks and visual cues to look for in your knitting that are always very helpful. So I would recommend with any of his, whether it's this year's or if you end up buying one of his patterns that it was a mystery knit along in the past, he leaves those videos up on YouTube and um they're so helpful. He's so great with tips and tricks and all kinds of things. So worth doing that. Okay, so if you don't want to see, close your eyes for a few minutes. But this is my finished clue one. I don't know which way to hold it. I guess this way maybe it's the best way. So like I said, it uses all 4 colors and it's done modularly. It's kind of difficult to hold. Maybe this way. There we go. So it looks sort of like a traditional triangular shawl, but there are 6 of these little scallops, he calls them. So you start with this one little guy down here. There's some stockinette. There are these fun little welts. There is brioche in each of these, but he does give you an option if you don't want to do the brioche to do garter stitch stripes instead. So instead of vertical 2-color stripes, you would get horizontal 2-color stripes. And then some cute little eyelets. And each of these essentially is the same construction. It's just written a little bit differently depending on how you're picking up from one edge or the other. So 6 little scallops. That's the first clue. It ended up taking me, I figured out around 2 hours per scallop once I figured out what I was doing and really kind of got going on it. Because like I said, once you get into the body of it, they're pretty much the same each one. And that's just how my brain works. I am 90% sure I'm gonna rip back this one, just the last this much. So that little welt is 8 rows plus 2. I'm gonna rip out 10 rows on this guy over here. Why? Because it's 4 rows too short. And I should have known it when I got to the stitch count at the end of that section and I had 2 stitches too many over here. But I just figured I was off somehow and just knitted 2 together like he says to do sometimes. However, I feel like at some point that's going to make a difference. So why am I off? Each of these little eyelets sections has 4 sets of eyelets. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the dark gray. 4, 4, 3. And while that on its own might not cause me a problem, I have knit enough of his shawls before to say that it wouldn't be totally unexpected to be picking up and knitting something along this I-cord edge at some point in the shawl. And if that's the case, this edge has 4 too few rows. That is a slip stitch edge, so it's 2 rows too few. We'll see how I feel about it tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just wait and see what the next clue is and decide from there. But so yeah, this guy is missing a row of blue and a row of eyelets. In the grand scheme of things, I don't really think you can tell. Probably nobody will notice, but I know it's there. But she's done for this week. Now I just have to wait till Thursday. So that gives me an opportunity to work on that other sweater a little bit. If you're going slower, don't worry about it. It's not a race. Those of you who have seen me knit, you know I'm a fast knitter. And I had a lot of car time this weekend. So exactly, if they get too close, poke them in the eye. I had a lot of knitting time up at the cottage and in the car. So well, I didn't knit on that in the car because that would be too much. but, and it's my job. It's my job to have samples for the shop. So don't stress out if you're taking your time and going a little bit slower on it. He does say if you've not done brioche before, you might want to choose the garter stitch option or practice on some scrap yarn, just because brioche is pretty tricky to fix. If you make a mistake, if it's something simple where like, in his terms, your stitch has a belt instead of a shawl, that's an easy enough one to fix. But if you get off somewhere on your brioche, it's pretty tricky. So, practice. We're here for you. Karen and I and Deb have all done brioche, so we can help you if you need help. So those are the projects I'm working on. Lemonwood. I said kind of at the beginning that we got a shipment from Lemonwood, and it's this, it's heavier than it looks. This box came today. We've been waiting for it for a little while because they make things to order. So I wanted to kind of open it up and show everybody what's in there. We finally got more of the I Love Yarn, what they call it, I Spy Yarn, I think is the name of this one, because it has sort of a little it has a little I Spy tag that comes with it, and so they want you to find all the things like the bird and the yarn store and the squirrel and the other things. But we got another batch of these because they went so quickly the first time, because they have the Saginaw Beans tower on there with the little beans bunny. It's so cute, and it's right across from the yarn store. So these are their I think they were from their LYS day last year, but we want them around as much as possible because it has the little beans tower. So the stick for it has I Love Yarn on it. Sorry, whoops, that's upside down and backwards. If you're on Facebook, sorry, it's backwards. They won't let me reverse the images anymore. So we got some more of those in. Those are 40. And I've got a handful of them. If you pre-ordered one, then I will have yours set aside with your name on it. I'm having an issue on the garter stitch one. Can't imagine the brioche. Just take your time with it, Julie, and just remember it's just knitting. So if it's off a little bit, that's okay. All right, I'm putting my hair back, you guys, because it's driving me crazy. So let's see, what else did we get in this box? We got a few of their, what they call their minders. What's a minder? It is this beautiful stand. Look at the beautiful rainbow. And what it does, in conjunction with one of these arms, everything comes in bubble wrap, so it's very well protected. And how did that get on there? And I can't get it out. Maybe the other way. But this screws into the base. Easier said than done. What's nice about this is it is there's like a velvet ribbon around the edge of it, so it's super soft on the edge. And it comes with one of their little flower clips. And this your minder. I need more of a workspace. I don't have a workspace. There we go. So you put your yarn on there, that clips on there, and this can sit right on your tabletop. So if you've got your minder, it comes with a wrist strap, but if you're not out walking or you're not in the car, the trash can is close. No. But if you're sitting somewhere, like if you're sitting in here and you just want your yarn on your minder, so if you're pulling from the outside of the ball, this is where this comes in handy, because you can put your ball of yarn on there and pull, and it just hangs right from here. It's very sturdy. It's got like little silicone feet on it, so it's not going to slide around. So it's called a minder because it's a minder for your minder. We've got a handful of those. They are all the rainbow base. and they are 50. I need to put a skein of yarn on it so so you can see more. Let's see, what do I have here? For some reason, I started pulling out of the middle of this one, but we'll wrap it around. So, for example, you take your ball of yarn, you put it on your minder, and Josie, this is not, so, but that's coming soon. I will talk about that. So here we go. I'm just making a mess for myself at the moment. It works much better than what I'm demonstrating. Okay. So if I were knitting from this, pulling from the outside of the ball, this can just sit on the table and you can unwind it from here. So we've got the minders. I've got a few of them in the shop, but their most recent little design are what they're calling their whirls. So this is their whirl. It looks like a bobbin. It spins. It is so, oh, that looks pretty trippy. It spins so fluidly and so nice. Again, it's got their logo on the bottom, the little silicone feet, two separate pieces. So what you can do is take your minder and you flip it in, you set it down in there. So there's this little flat piece goes in there, that little flat piece. You push it in and turn it. And then it sits right on there and you can pull from there as well. So this is their latest. They only have them on their website as pre-orders right now, but we got a few of them in. So look at how smooth that is. Like I could turn the base and the top is barely turning at all. So you can just keep pulling and it'd be nice and smooth. It'd be nicer if your ball of yarn looked a little bit better than mine, but this one's been floating around the bottom of my bag. So Josie, those are what I was talking about. So I've got them in, those are 60. And I have just a few of each of those. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. We will set it aside for you. And Jackie, yes, I see you. I will I really like the minder. Yeah, I bet the cats would have fun, especially with this one. If it's something that's dangling, hanging on there, my cats would have a ball with it. Normally they leave my yarn alone. I don't know that they would leave my yarn alone in a situation like that. Yep, got it. I will save 2 of those for you. So that's all our fun products from Lemonwood. Like I said, they make things to order. So these have been in the works a little while but we're happy to wait because they make really, really good quality products. And it's a US company. Veronica is the owner. She was the former owner of Dream and Color Yarns, and she and her son Colm started this company. So each the minder. Okay, got it. Will do. And I think that's all I have to talk about tonight. Again, I thought this was going to be a short one, but I ramble like I do. But yeah, the new Lemonwood products are really, really cool. We've got them here in the shop. If you wanted to see them in person, play around with them, you're welcome to. We'll have them on the table probably. And yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about for this week. So I hope, one more thing, you guys. It's sitting right here staring at me, but I also just thought it was a snack, but let's talk about something non-yarn related, but it is snack related, and most yarny people like snacks. So if you have an Aldi by you and you like coffee or chocolate or caramels or any combination of those, you need to get some of these before they are gone because they're a seasonal item. And I've already bought 4 containers of them. I brought 2 of them to the shop, so not all 4 were at home with me, but you can't This is one of those you can't just eat one sort of things. These guys. So from Aldi, they are cold brew dark chocolate flavored caramels. They are so good, you guys. So in their seasonal section where they have like their pumpkin spice things and their fall things, I saw these. Well, first I saw they had containers of dark chocolate covered espresso beans, which I love, but that's a little bit too intense for me. But these guys, the best way I can describe them is if you took a dark chocolate covered espresso bean and blended it up and then wrapped it around a caramel, that's what this is like. So I think everybody needs to get some in their lives because they are so, so delicious. Um, get them before they're gone. I was at Aldi today and I almost bought more, but I decided I really don't need more. I need to just limit myself to like one a day and it'll last me, I don't know, a week. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention because yes, everybody needs to know about good snacks. Okay. I hope everybody has a good week. And if we don't see you here in the shop, then we'll be back here next Monday at 7 o'clock. So have a great week. It's going to be cooler tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit rainier tomorrow, but that just means we can stay inside and do more knitting and crocheting and all of the crafty things because that's what, fuels our brains and makes us happy. So have a good week and we will see you all hopefully very soon. All right.